All right, let's put on our detective hats today. We're going to dive into a pretty wild case from the stock market, a real head-scratcher involving a company called AMBR International Holding, ticker AMBR. Something dramatic happened, and we're here to investigate.
So where do we start? Well, like any good detective, we go straight to the crime scene. And for AMBR, that scene is one single explosive day of trading that left everybody asking, what just happened?
Get this. On November 26th, the stock didn't just climb, it absolutely rocketed up over 56%. We're talking about a single day. That's the kind of gain most people would be thrilled to get in an entire year. And it wasn't some quiet little move that nobody saw. No way. This number here, relative volume, tells us the stock traded at more than 46 times its usual everyday volume. The market wasn't just paying attention, it was in a full-on frenzy. So that's our central mystery, a 56% jump on 46 times the normal volume. That doesn't just happen. What could possibly cause a stock to detonate like this? To find out, we've got to rewind the tape a little and see what was happening right before the explosion. And this is where the story gets really interesting. See, this massive spike didn't come from a position of strength. It came at the very end of a long, painful slide downwards, which honestly makes the whole thing even more bizarre. Let's look back. In early September, AMBR was doing okay, trading near $4.50, but then the fall began. By mid-October, it had crashed right through the $3 floor. It just kept dropping until it hit this bleak 3-month low of just $1.24 in November. It looked hopeless. And then, just days later, bam! The explosion up to $2.47. So you see the picture, right? That contrast is everything. You have a stock that's been bleeding value for 3 straight months, showing zero signs of life. And then, in a single session, it completely reverses course with unbelievable force. This wasn't just a rally. It was a total anomaly. And we need to find out why. Luckily, we're not flying blind. The technical report is basically our evidence folder, and it's full of clues. I don't want you to think of these as just boring data points. No, think of them as fingerprints, as forensic evidence left at the scene. Let's start piecing it all together. First up, let's examine clue number 1, explosive momentum. It's not just about the price going up, it's about the sheer force behind it. We need to know, was this a gentle lift or was it a full-on rocket launch? And wow, the evidence is pretty clear. The RSI, which measures the speed of price changes, is at a really strong 64. The MACD histogram shows that the upward bullish power is actually getting stronger. It's accelerating. And the Aroon Up indicator, it's at a perfect 100, basically screaming that the stock is smashing through its recent highs. So the verdict? Total rocket launch. Okay, so we've established it was a powerful move up, but who was driving it? Our next clue dives into that classic battle, the buyers versus the sellers. Let's see who was really in control here. Yeah, this wasn't even a fair fight. Look at this. Buyer strength clocked in at over 46, while seller strength was just a measly 14.9. This wasn't a negotiation. This was a complete takeover. The buyers just steamrolled the sellers. All right, now for our final and maybe the most important piece of evidence. You see, a big price move without big volume can sometimes be a mirage, something that isn't really real. We have to check the volume to see if this story actually holds up. And the evidence is just overwhelming. The trading volume on that one day didn't just increase, it grew by over 1,100% compared to its recent average. This is the ultimate confirmation. The price spike was backed by a massive flood of trading. It was absolutely a real significant event. So let's recap the evidence. We've got explosive momentum, overwhelming buying pressure, and massive confirming volume. All the clues are pointing in exactly the same direction. Now it's time to see how the report wraps all this evidence up into a final verdict. And there it is. The report gives AMBR an overall technical score of 78.61. In our little data investigation, this is pretty much the case closed moment. But what exactly does this number mean? Well, this score is basically a summary of the stock's short-term health on a scale of 0 to 100. Anything over 50 is considered bullish or positive. So a score of nearly 79 isn't just bullish. It's a very strong signal that, from a technical point of view, the stock's health just went through a massive positive transformation.
The investigation also gives us a map for what to watch next. Think of these prices as the key battlegrounds. Will the stock have the strength to break above that 299 resistance ceiling, or will it fall back to the 213 support floor? That pivot point at 264 is really the line in the sand.
So our data detective story has solved the mystery of what happened on November 26th. It was a confirmed technical explosion. But that just leads us to the biggest question of all. What does it mean for the future? And that's really the ultimate question, isn't it? We've seen undeniable proof of a dramatic technical shift after a long, ugly downtrend. The data proves it. But is this the first page of a brand new comeback story for AMBR? Or was it just a spectacular one-day blip in an ongoing downtrend? The data has told its story for today, and now the market gets to write the next chapter.